There's been a lot of misinformation about U.S. elections, and much of it is because people don't understand how the process works. Our family delivered the evening newspaper for 20 years, so I grew up reading the newspaper, and I loved politics. The first election I remember was in 1964 when Lyndon Johnson defeated Barry Goldwater. Although I was only 7 years old at the time, I was fascinated by the whole process and started reading up on it. I read newspapers, encyclopedias, and books to figure it out. What I learned was that most Americans have a limited understanding of the process we use to elect a president, and the rise of the internet has proven that even more. A huge misconception is that vote counting ends when the polls close at 7 p.m. on election day. News media has a bad habit of predicting the winner ahead of time, and they can grossly miscalculate the results. In 1948, all the experts predicted that Thomas Dewey had beat Harry Truman, and the Chicago Daily Tribune even printed a story headlined, Dewey Defeats Truman. But the vote has never been counted by 7 p.m. on election day. One factor is mail-in ballots. Some mail-in ballots were allowed in the 1700s, but they were first widely used in the Civil War as a way for soldiers away from home to vote. Absentee ballots now make voting accessible for elderly people, people with disabilities, and so on. But each state determines when absentee ballots are due, and it varies greatly from state to state. In 2020, for example, some states required that the ballots be received by November 3, the date of the election. Others, though, only required the ballots to be postmarked by November 3. Others had deadlines of when they had to be received. Guam required all ballots to be received by November 18, 15 days after the election. Another issue is when the absentee ballots are counted. Some states allow them to be counted early, while others don't allow the ballots to even be opened until after the polls close at 7 p.m. on election day. With such a wide range of deadlines, it's obvious that an official vote total cannot be known by 7 p.m., and it has never been known that early. To accommodate the different deadlines, states are required to set their own canvass dates where they certify the results. Once again, there's a wide variety of dates. In 2020, Delaware's canvass date was November 5, 2 days after the election. 3 states, Maryland, Missouri, and New Jersey, had a canvass date of December 8, and 7 states and territories don't even have a specified date. However, the national deadline was December 8. All states and territories had to certify their official totals by that date. On part 2, I'll cover more about voting myths.